The same Ross County side that beat Celtic. Keeper Michael McGovern was at Dundee United last season but never made the first team. Scott Morrison played in the final here with Dunfermline 3 years ago. Just 1 year ago, Andy Barrowman and Ian Vigurs were relegated with Inverness. Such are the highs and lows of football.
Well, we've set this up as a 4-3-3, but I think it will change. I would expect Craig and Gardine in the wide area just to drop off when Ross County don't have the ball and make it a little bit more difficult for United to get out through the fullbacks. I think the positioning of the two centre-backs is important. Against Celtic, they closed the game right up. That, in turn, shortened the game for their midfield and allowed them to go and support Barrowman and hunt down the ball well up the pitch. And if this team plays as they can, they have a real chance today.
Dundee United are without injured defenders Darren Dodds and Paul Dixon, but Michal Kovacevic is over a hamstring tweak. Andy Webster on loan from Rangers has had an outstanding season. Gary Kenneth played in the 2005 final here as a 17-year-old. Up front, John Daly is just ahead of David Goodwillie in the goal-scoring charts.
Well, United shape a little bit more orthodox. It's a straightforward 4-4-2. I think it's a natural partnership up front between Daly and Goodwillie. Daly's physical presence will certainly allow United to go back to front if they want to mix it up. Goodwillie, on the other hand, a lot more energy, a lot more mobility. He will go in behind all day long if he gets a chance. Significantly for me, the pair behind him, Wabin and Gomez, among the best central midfield pairings in the country. And if that pair get on the same wavelength early on, I'd expect United to boss this game. Either way, they're going to have to be at the very top of their game to win the Cup this afternoon.
The nation is active for the Active Nation Scottish Cup final on this day of destiny and dreams. Ross County or Dundee United will lift the Scottish Cup and take their place in history. Lee Wilkie forced to retire through injury this season, leading out Dundee United, a tremendous gesture. The Scottish Cup is in its 125th year, the world's oldest national trophy, and the Highland Hordes have gathered at Hampden today. Ross County backed by nearly 20,000 followers. 4 times the population of their town, Dingwall. And their semi-final victory over Celtic here made headlines around the world. They're back at the National Stadium for the final. The presentation party includes George Peake from the SFA and the 2 chairmen. At the start of the season, Ross County were 250-1 to win the Scottish Cup. And there's a few around who took that bet. Some bookies are a bit worried. Dundee United beware. Ross County beat Hibs in the quarter-finals and Celtic in the semi-finals, and they didn't fluke it. They are most definitely here on merit. Derek Adams, at the age of just 34, has guided Ross County to the Scottish Cup final. Webster, captain for the day. Lee Wilkie, former captain, now retired, but very involved on this day of days. Dundee United with the best of the rest outside the Old Firm in Scotland this season. Ross County have taken on the best, and their top scorer, Michael Gardine, was born in Dundee and supported United's city rivals. Keeper Michael McGovern has a point to prove after failing to make the first team when he was at Dundee United last season. And having faced him in training, McGovern will know all about David Goodwilly's finishing prowess. His last goal was a semi-final stunner against Wraith Rovers here. It is an Old Firm free day at Hampden. Apart from him, Andy Webster on loan from Rangers. Dougie McDonald's only other Scottish Cup final was also a non-Old Firm occasion, Hearts against Gretna. He actually allowed the handball goal at Partick Thistle in round 3 that put Dundee United on the road to Hampden. It has been a fairy tale. Derek Adams, the youngest manager in Scotland at 34, guiding Ross County to the final, and not far off a fairy tale either. Peter Houston, after just 5 months as a manager, has led Dundee United to this grand occasion. Well, Ross County topped beating Hibs by beating Celtic. How can they top beating Celtic? By winning the Scottish Cup, of course. That's how. Dundee United will be worthy winners as well, though. They have become a major force again in recent times, and Scottish football is better for it. 16 years after they were elected to the Scottish Football League, and a few years after nearly going bust, Ross County stride out in the Scottish Cup final, an example to others. And Dundee United know they are in for a match.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always a real sense of anticipation here on Cup final day, but if anything, the Ross County semi-final performance has made this all the more intriguing. We know this is a side that is not going to choke. They're going to get after United, they're going to press the ball high up the pitch, and United are going to have to be at their very best to get through this.
Kovacevic, injured of late, recovered in time for the final. Gomez and Boaben, such a solid partnership in the heart of Dundee United's midfield. It's a very settled midfield with the wide players as well. Craig Conway's offside here.
You see already as Ross County are taking this free kick. Peter Houston, no animation about him at the moment. I'm sure that'll change, but what you can see is that United have the back line right up onto the halfway line, much as we expected, to try and shorten the pitch for those midfield players.
Kenneth will steer that back to Dusan Pernis, who hopes to make Slovakia's World Cup squad. He's in the initial party, but 4 goalkeepers were named, 1 will have to miss out. Here's Craig Conway. Just over the head of John Daly and Michael McGovern. Gets an early touch as well. Left Celtic for Dundee United, but never trapped to first-team place. Conway. Trapped here by Stephen Craig, who's shaken him off, but Scott Boyd deals with a threat.
Oh, I should have played it early, Craig Conway. Goodwillie was screaming for it in the central area, just didn't get his head up quickly enough.
Gary Kenneth has a long throw in him. Kenneth again. Dillon. Bang on the head for Goodwillie. These teams have met 4 times in the League Cup. Ross County's only victory came 12 years ago when Derek Adams scored both goals for them. Alongside him there, Craig Brewster, who got the winner for Dundee United in the 1994 final. And of course, went on to manage United. Stephen Craig, who scored the first goal against Celtic. Dillon.
You see Michael McGovern now, they're more or less playing sweeper, and if Ross County are going to play high up the pitch, he's really going to have to take his starting position on the edge of the 18-yard box so that anything it is knocked over the top for Goodwill he can get out to.
Scott Morrison, a cup final loser with Dunfermline here 3 years ago when Celtic beat them. Tigers. And that'll be a free kick for Morrison.
Well, one that they'll knock into the box. Two centre-backs, Keddy and Boyd, have both gone forward here. First test of the match for the United at the back, in particular Webster and Kenneth.
Ross County's captain and player of the year will take this. Richard Britton. And it's veered away from Boyd and Craig.
Just a little bit too deep there, Stephen Craig trying to get round the back, but always second favourite. He didn't really give either of the centre-backs something to go and attack there.
Britton, the captain, hoping to lift the Scottish Cup later.
Well, he's the one, Ian, who'll sit in front of the two centre-backs, and in that respect it gives the rest of the midfield the licence to go and support Barrowman.
Craig. Barrowman rising with Kenneth. Here's Prince Boabin, the young Ghanaian, but he's lost out. Sean Dillon. McDonald pulling that back for a free kick.
You see how keen they were to get to Danny Swanson there. What they don't want is Swanson running into space, because he is certainly one on that pitch today who can drop the shoulder and go past the defender. They don't want to allow this lad too much time to get running at people.
Dillon. Not kept in by Conway. Ross County, the third team in 5 seasons from outside the top flight to reach the final after Gretna and Queen of the South. Encouraging run this from Barrowman, but Gary Kenneth stuck to his task.
I think they should have had a free kick, Barrowman. I think they took a little nudge there from Gary Kenneth, who was getting done for pace up the outside, and I think realised it. Just watch Kenneth lean in. Just here, right arm was up, right in front of the assistant. And I think they should have had a free kick, and it would have been in a very tasty position.
Free kick that will be throw in rubber that will be left for Gary Miller. Gomez always dogged and determined. Peter Houston took over from Craig Levine at Christmas. Lost 7-1 at Rangers in his second game, but quickly recovered from that. Guided Dundee United into third place and therefore into the Europa League qualifiers.
Just be a little bit concerned, Peter Houston. I know that he felt in the semi-final that Dundee United didn't get out the blocks quickly enough. It took them 15 or 20 minutes to settle. He really doesn't want to see that happen today.
Kovacevic. Here's Martin Scott, or Jimmy Scott as he prefers to be known. Doesn't like the name Martin apparently. Everyone calls him Jimmy. Burst of pace here from Swanson.
Well, it's good decision by the assistant on the far side, because there were 2 United players offside as the ball was knocked forward, but weren't taking part. And the assistant did well just to delay that little bit before he put his flag up.
Gary Kenneth fancying another long throw. John Daly, the potential target. Andy Webster also lurking. Here it comes from Kenneth. It's towards Webster, but he was rather crowded out. Kovacevic and Dillon are minding the shot. Dillon very versatile. He's played in a few positions this season. Gardine now.
He's the one, he's the maverick, and I think every team needs one. He was the one in the semi-final who stuck his chest out and said, yeah, this will do me, this is my kind of stage. And if there is one individual for Ross County who might just influence this game, it might be Gardine.
Boyd. cut out by Gomez. Now Conway. Good Willie. It's a Ross County throw. David Goodwillie has had an excellent season. 12 goals, one behind John Daly. He's desperate to overtake him. Last chance today. Gary Miller's throw. Conway. Chases on between Boyd and Daly. And Daly did manage to get a toe on it. Miller confronted by Conway.
Oh, he didn't really want it, did he? Not in that position. He wanted Boyd to launch it. But I think you saw the example here as the ball was knocked up the line, how quick this lad is here. And we saw Robbie Keane have a real problem in the semi-final, getting away from him. I think John Daly and Goodwillie will have the same problem this afternoon.
Kenneth. Swanson made the run. He's got there. Dougie McDonald has a look and decides against a penalty.
Oh, I wonder had that been outside the box whether Dougie McDonald would have given a free kick. A terrific diagonal run from Danny Swanson from out to in. It's always difficult for centre-backs to spot that run because they're looking at the ball being played. They don't see Swanson making a diagonal. And this is some quick feet here. Well, it certainly would have been of the soft variety, but there is contact. Well, a really tough early decision for the referee, that's for sure.
Vigers. A big call early on for Dougie McDonald.
Well, that's what Danny Swanson's telling him. He feels he was taken down. I don't really see any reason for Danny Swanson to go down otherwise, unless there is contact here.
Here is Swanson. It's a Ross County throw. It must have shaved Kovacevic. Ross County scored goals galore in the early round, including 9 against Stirling Albion. It certainly should be an open cup final. Looks that way already. Craig Brewster had an unhappy time as Dundee United manager, but now working alongside Derek Adams at Ross County, and they've both got quite a story to tell. Kovacevic.
Got to say, I'm a little bit surprised that Goodwillie's playing more or less off the front. He's playing between middle and front at the moment. I thought he played right up on the shoulder. And at the moment he's allowing County to have a spare centre-back. Richard Britton is actually able to look after David Goodwillie when he drops off, and it gives, at the moment it's giving County a spare central defender against John Daly.
Dundee United must overcome a cup final curse today. They've been in 8 Scottish Cup finals and lost 7 of them. Daly. Goodwillie closely watched by Boyd. Sean Dillon ready to take this. Stephen Craig keeping Craig Conway in check. Gomez. It's bounced off Scott. Here is Andy Webster, due to return to Rangers.
It's not a bad ball, it's just a little bit heavy, but it's of the type that Goodwillie will certainly want to see this afternoon be knocked over the top.
Ross County must win today to take place in the Europa League qualifiers. If they don't, Motherwell will be in Europe. So Motherwell is cheering on Dundee United today. Here's Gary Kenneth. Kovacevic was calling for it on the right, and certainly would have been a better option.
Oh, I don't know why he didn't get it. Acres of space for Kovacevic to get into on the other side of the pitch there. He's on his way back now. Another chance here for County to put it into the box. They'll need a better delivery this time and give Keddy and Boyd something to get a run at here.
Scott Morrison will throw it in there. Morrison again. Britton. Away by Kovacevic. Dundee United can't dig it out though. Keddy's cross.
Oh, pity. Ideally, Derek Adams would have wanted one of his wide players in that position to deliver the cross there. He had loads of time, Alec Keddy.
Kovacevic is down injured at the moment. He's just returned from a hamstring problem.
Well, at the other end, Ian Viger's timely interception there on the full stretch. That's the risk that County take when they play high. They do expose themselves to the ball in behind.
Kovacevic will require some treatment. They do have Keith Watson on the bench, if it does prove to be serious. Ross County hoping to become the first team from outside the top flight to win the Scottish Cup since East Fife in 1938. Dillon releasing Goodwillie here. John Daly striding towards the box. And Goodwillie lost his way somewhat. One back though by Gomez. Goodwillie again. Daly certainly in the mix. And the danger far from over.
I'll tell you what, it's not a bad cross from Goodwillie. I'm surprised that Daly didn't attack that, didn't try and get across the front there.
Swanson. Webster. Gary Kenneth was just 17 when he came up against Craig Bellamy in the 2005 Scottish Cup final. Dillon. Conway chasing this. And a shove by Conway on Miller, free kick.
No, soft for me. So often we see the defender getting the benefit of the doubt here when they're really obstructing the forward. I know that what they'll say is that if the defender is within playing distance of the ball, he can do that, but I can understand Conway's frustration there.
Yes, a very generous decision that for Ross County.
Well, United having a little bit more of the ball, but very little cutting edge about either side so far.
Morrison. Vigers now. And here's Barrowman, blocked by Kenneth.
Oh, good defending. You're dead right, Ian, even this early in the game, it's really open.
Free kick given away by Swanson, who lost the ball and Took out Gardine. And a chance for Ross County to swing one in here. They were worthy winners against Hibs and Celtic. They didn't fluke it. Britton takes it towards Scott Boyd, but he was closely watched by John Daly.
Well, it's a better ball in. At least he gave Boyd something to take a run at there.
Miller seeking an option. Scott provides it. Miller's cross. Hoisted away by Kovacevic. Morrison. Tigers. Gardine loses out to Kovacevic. Webster. Dundee United accounted for Rangers en route to the final. Also had to overcome their neighbours from Perth, St Johnstone. Alex Kenny's clearance. Swirled out. It's been quite a season for the Highlands. Inverness, Cali Thistle back in the top flight. Ross County in the cup final. The Highlands have come to Hampden for the day. It's a free kick for Dundee United. That means Craig Conway, who on his day can be up there with the best crossers of the ball in Scotland. Conway delivers. Daly trying to rescue that. Gary Kenneth might trying to back heel Kenneth. He's not giving it up though. So determined. Guaben now. Conway. He's dancing. Here's Good Willie. And that's going to be a free kick, and Gary Miller will be summoned for a yellow card.
It all came from a very light pass there. The pass did him no favours at all. Miller certainly well out with the timing and the challenge. Had it been a better pass, I don't think Gary Miller would have dived in. Because it was light, he thought he could go and win it. And he's never getting there. Much better angle here for United to deliver from. Good Willie's fortunate, he just got his foot off the ground there. Had he been planted, it might have been worse.
This could be ominous for Ross County. It's Conway to take it, and Gary Kenneth's header just off target.
It's a good chance. Scott Boyd, who's picking him up at the back post here. Bit of wrestling going on. He hardly gets off the ground, Gary Kenneth, and he's maybe just under enough pressure that he can't get his neck into that, can't get it on target.
Halfway through the first half, no goals as yet in the 2010 Scottish Cup final in the Hampden sunshine. Conway. Just as well Britton got in the way then for Ross County. Spanish football tonight from 9 o'clock on Sky Sports HD3. And Sky Sports 3, it's Almeria against Sevilla, who, if they win, will secure a Champions League spot. Scott. Daly gets involved. Here's Britton. Now Morrison. Vigers. Britain returns it to Vigers, but Gomez gets stuck in, as he often does. Assisted by Boaven. Great partnership, those two.
Well, again, United go long. I don't think the viewers will see it, but there is a very strong breeze blowing down the pitch from left to right as we look at it. And anything that is knocked over the top for Goodwillie in particular might just hold up a little bit.
Barrowman forcing Andy Webster to marshal that behind. He's had an outstanding season on loan from Rangers. He was actually at Hearts when they reached the cup final in 2006, but he had a bit of a contract row going on and was left out of the final. Kenneth seeking Goodwillie. Vigers loses out to Gomez. Dougie McDonald's going to have to sort this one out, you suspect?
Well, he could have given it either way. It's a really awkward decision for the referee. Once it gets stuck, they're both at it. I'll try sorting this one out. Ball's just stuck.
It was a right old scrap. Morrison's free kick. Away by Kenneth. Sean Dillon's father missing the cup final today because he's a sergeant major in the Irish Army serving in Chad. And his mum's missing it as well because his sister's about to give birth back in Ireland. It's a foul by Gomez on Scott.
It's got a little bit too tight there, Gomez. It's an area of the pitch where the two central midfielders for United have to get to the ball quickly. This gets done by quick feet there.
The centre-halves Boyd and Keddy will come up for this, naturally. Vigers sends it towards Keddy. Conway, shadowed by Gardine. Free kick, Ross County, Boaven.
Well, he could have let it go there, Dougie McDonald, but there was no advantage there. Every chance they get, though, they're putting the two centre-backs up, just trying to play for a knockdown. Knocking a diagonal in for Boyd and Keddy.
Vigers tries again towards Keddy. Nothing doing. Derek Adams, 2.5 years in charge of Ross County. His father is director of football there. The Adams family run the show in Dingwall. Peter Houston will talk to his chairman Stephen Thompson after this final to decide on his future. A rookie manager, but he's fared rather well.
Well, the job says if he wants it, that's for sure. And a terrific job.
Here's Scott, lost out to Kenneth. Boaven now for Kovacevic.
Well, there you go. Neither goalkeeper having much to do so far.
Nothing on target yet, and that's a bit of a surprise. Kenneth over the top for Daly. And Daly has shrugged off Morrison here.
Good defending, really good defending by Scott Boyd, front post. Exactly where you'd want your centre-back to be as the ball came in. Scott Morrison caught the wrong side out in the wide area, and the centre-back did really well.
These two teams have met before this season in the League Cup back in September. Dundee United won 2-0 at Ross County. On by Britton. Back by Boaben. Danny Swanson tried to release David Goodwillie. Webster. It's a clever switch to Conway. Conway having to take the long way around. Here's Gomez. Good shout from the keeper.
Well, I just wanted it played in a little bit deeper there, Daly. Made a nice little bit of room there in the channel. But Michael McGovern always favourite when the ball was hung up.
Offside here against Barrowman. Dillon. Goodwillie challenges Boyd. Returned by Dillon, but nobody over there for Dundee United.
Just become a little bit of a hostage to the long ball at the moment, United. You know, we did expect him to be direct now and again to knock it in behind, to go long, but they've just stopped building it through the midfield at the moment.
Kovacevic. Got a few balloons on the pitch on a blustery day at Hampden. Rather than negotiating them. Webster, calmness personified. Kenneth. It's a little heavy, is it? No, he's going to get there, Conway. Conway didn't hang about, and it's knocked away by Boyd.
Well, it's a good ball in from Conway into a very good area, and it's an awkward height for Scott Boyd. I think he does the right thing here. Instead of trying to clear this with his left foot, he knows he can deal with it with his head, and he gets it safe.
Conway. Shadowed by Craig, who stumbled. Conway for Dillon. And Miller and Britton conspire to clear. Ross County finished 5th in the First Division. They were in with a shadow promotion until Inverness roared away with the title. Even so, it's been a remarkable season for Derek Adams. It's been a pretty good season for Dundee United too, though. They've been generally overlooked in the build-up to this final. The whole world seems to be willing on Ross County. Dusan Pernis came in during the winter window after Nicky Wheeler had done a terrific job in the first half of the season. Daly up against Keddy. Britton. Barrowman. Scott.
Well, Michael Gardine not happy that the ball wasn't played into his feet, and so far they just haven't managed to get him into the game. Become a kind of peripheral figure out there on the left-hand side, Gardine, and he's got a lot to offer if they can get him into the game.
David Goodwillie's got a free kick. Boaben, who was previously with Ajax. In towards John Daly.
Well, he lost Stephen Craig. He should be doing a little bit better for me, John Daly. He just got the run on Stephen Craig. Nice little run here from Daly, just peels off Stephen Craig. Maybe struggling to score from, what, 16 yards, but I think he could have knocked it into a better area than he did. Just got a couple of yards there on the county-wide player, and should be doing a little bit better than that.
John Daly has had a torrid time with injuries in recent years, but he's been a consistent performer this season. 13 goals, one more than Good Willie. Stephen Craig. Gary Kenneth intervenes. Gary Miller with his throw. Craig. Good Willie now for Swanson. Breakout here for Dundee United. Denny Swanson. Can he finish it off? No, he can't.
Scott Boyd did brilliantly to get out and slow him down there. And I think it's Martin Scott eventually who gets back. Scott Boyd puts the squeeze on here, gets out really quickly to force Swanson wide. And I think it's Scott eventually who makes the block there.
He was certainly in full flight then, Danny Swanson. Into the last 10 minutes of the first half. Dillon. Morrison. Held up by Barrowman, Scott involved, but Guabin now for Conway. He's got the free kick. Stephen Craig might have been the offender there. Conway. Gary Kenneth is the target. Alec Kenny is with him. Dundee United get the throw. And it could well be a long one from Kenneth. In towards Daly. Bounced over Good Willie, away by Miller. Only as far as Gomez. Guabin!
Oh, had to take it very early. Stephen Craig right in his face here. But very little joy from these long throw-ins so far, United, but gets a little bit of room here in the edge of the box. Stephen Craig trying to get in to make the challenge.
Over Conway's head.
Offside. It's a pretty lean time of it so far, Barrowman, but certainly at the other end of the pitch, Scott Boyd to thank here. Scott Boyd looks second favourite here as Swanson knocks it in behind Morrison. Looked as if he was going to have a run in and goal. Boyd did really well to force him wide, and eventually by the time he comes back inside to pull the trigger, it's Scott who made the block.
Ross County have actually beaten 3 SPL sides this season in cup competitions, as well as Hibs and Celtic. They overcame Hamilton Accies in the League Cup. Daly. Felt he was shoved by Keddy. Conway chasing this. This could be promising for Dundee United. He's having to skirt a balloon or two. And also Miller. And it's Guabin's header that is collected by McGovern.
Well, it all came from the wind holding the long ball. It was a lovely switch from Swanson. Conway throws it in as early as he can, and it's just slightly behind Boabin. He's got a lot of work to do there.
Well, Kenneth's header. Drop for Gardine. Craig. Scott's cross. Vigers may yet retrieve this. Kovacevic with him, though. And Vigers will lead this for Scott Morrison. Morrison for Vigers. Away by Webster. Boabin. Good shot from Goodwillie for Swanson. I think Goodwillie might have felt something then.
I think it's Ian Vigers who caught him there accidentally. He may have stood in his foot.
Kovacevic, Gomez, Kenneth. Straight through the middle, but McGovern's having that.
Hard to pick out your strikers from that deep in the pitch, as Gary Kenneth attempted there. When you're knocking the ball in straight lines like that, you really try to knock it a little bit more diagonal than that. Otherwise, it's going to go through to Michael McGovern.
Webster has let that bounce. He's still in charge, though. Scott Boyd will get to this ahead of Conway. Boyd, who scored the winner against Hibs very late on in the quarter-final replay, which delighted him but upset his girlfriend, who's a Hibs fan. Conway. He's got the free kick.
Soft again, it's soft. Really great deal of contact here. That's the point that Stephen Craig's making.
The big boys wait. Conway straight through to McGovern.
Oh, Craig Conway's better than that. He's got to give the Ross County goalkeeper more of a problem than he did there.
Vigers. Morrison moves away from Gomez. Webster. Goodwillie. Swanson. Another free kick for Dundee United.
Well, he may have been caught by Scott Morrison's arm there, if anything. He's caught with his right arm. That convinces a lot of malice in it, but that's no consolation to him. Certainly a sore one he took.
Gary Kenneth. Half-time approaching at Hampden. Dillon. Goodwillie. Shoved off Boyd, but then Britton got involved. Dillon not sure which option to take, and in the end, John Daly made a run for him. Here's Swanson. Snuffed out by Boyd.
Well, how many times has Scott Boyd stopped the ball coming in? He did well here. Could have committed himself to the centre-back, just stayed in his feet.
Craig Conway's corner, and it's come off the post. In fact, the whistle has gone.
Yeah, free kick given, much to the relief of Michael McGovern. He just got lost in traffic trying to get a fist on this. It's David Goodwillie who's blocking him off. He's mightily relieved to hear the whistle there, the county goalkeeper.
Conway. Good Willie chasing, and McGovern changes mind about coming. Good Willie was trapped by Kenny.
Well, I think he should have hit it in. I think he's got a chance to hit this first time. I think it's a nice height, and the touch he takes here is costly. He really should be pulling the trigger. Should have put his left foot through that. The moment he nurses it, he's always going to lose out.
Alec Kenny relieved that he took a touch. Conway tries again. He's finding his range now with his deliveries, Conway. Gardine. Guava. Here's Conway, strong into the half from Dundee United. Conway into Daly, and it's taken by McGovern.
Well, he must be 12 yards out when he gets his head on this John Daly. He's just trying to use the pace on the ball, but to score he's got to find either side of Michael McGovern, and it's straight down the county goalkeeper's throat.
We're into 60 seconds of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Good Willie. It's a very decent spell this for Dundee United. Strong challenge there. Just what it needed to be from Scott Morrison.
Free kick given by the assistant. I just wonder if he left the ground there, Scott Morrison, whether that's deemed to be reckless, perhaps two-footed. Does he leave the ground? Certainly took plenty of the ball.
Gary Kenneth sizing up a long throw. This could well be the last action of the half. He's gone a little shorter. In fact, he sold Gomez short. Free kick for Ross County now. Surely we are about to hear the half-time whistle. Paul Hegarty behind Peter Houston there, and Gary Kirk. Hegarty, who lost 4 finals as a player in a terrific team that Dundee United had. Kovacevic. It is half-time, a flurry of opportunities at the end of the half with David Goodwillie and John Daly both in the hunt. But at the break in the 2010 Scottish Cup final, it is Ross County 0, Dundee United 0. Yes, this Scottish Cup final is waiting to burst into life. Dundee United finished the first half strongly. They will start the second half, but it's goalless, and we wait for that all-important opening goal that will set the tone. Neither side really able to stamp their mark on Hampden Park so far today. Peter Houston took over when Craig Levein got the Scotland job at Christmas. Levein's long-time assistant, now the main man. Dundee United will be in the Europa League qualifiers for next season. So will Ross County if they win today. If they don't, Motherwell are off into Europe.
Well, he's changed the shape, Derek Adams. Only 20-odd seconds into the second period, but Gardine is playing in a much more advanced position now. I think that was the problem in that first half, that Barrowman up there in his own county couldn't find them. They couldn't get anyone else up beside him or beyond them. And it looks as if Gardine now is going to play, if not up beside him, just off him.
Morrison. Dillon sends it back in his direction, where it's met by Keddy. Richard Britton gives it away to Swanson. Scott Boyd appealing for offside against Daly, but it wasn't given. And David Goodwillie almost in. Goodwillie feeding Kovacevic.
Oh, poor bowling. Good support in the box. He's got to throw it in deeper than that.
Time for a long throw, possibly, from Gary Kenneth. Gone are the days where they used to have Lee Wilkie to flick these on, but Andy Webster and John Daly are possibles. Kenneth seeking out Webster. He was closely watched, but it still came through to Daly. And Webster scoops it over.
Well, he's only going to get one touch in there, and the ball is on the up. So really awkward half volley. And he has to pull the trigger in that area of the pitch. He's not going to be allowed a touch here. One touch is all he's going to get.
He has been struggling with a calf problem, by the way. There were fears he might not last the match. So far, so good. Gary Kenneth made that his. Handball from Goodwillie. Gardine. Webster's challenge left Gardine in a heap.
I'm surprised that Diggy McDonald didn't stop it.
Keddy finding this rather awkward, but he's hung in there.
Oh, he got there in the end, Alec Keddy, but no real conviction.
Gardine's back on his feet. Conway. Goodwillie. Conway's gone for the return. And Scott Morrison turns it away for a corner.
I think it's Stephen Craig who ends up back in the right fullback position for Ross County, who narrows this. As the ball spreaded into the channel, Stephen Craig tucks in. And does just enough to put the squeeze on there.
Conway's corner. Kenneth not allowed to get too near it. Swanson. Here's Scott, who has endless energy. Scored the second goal against Celtic when he arrived in the box in the closing seconds, which kind of summed up his game, really.
Well, I think it was he who made the block when Danny Swanson broke through in the first half as well, and he must have covered 60, 70 yards to get himself back goal side for that. So he does have good legs.
Dillon steering that back to Dusan Pernis. It's not a great kick from the Slovakian keeper. Scott. Harry Miller, the only man booked in the first half. Craig. Gardine making the run. Kenneth goes with him. Just trickled out.
Hasn't really managed to get himself into the game, certainly in the first half. Second half, I think he can be more of an influence playing off the front. If you forget about defensive duties now and go and try and find those little pockets of space where he can give United one or two problems.
Kovacevic. Figers got a toe to it. Goodwillie lurking, so Keddy won't take any chances. Started his career at Leeds United down south. A lot of these Ross County players have been at bigger clubs where they failed to make it. Here's Goodwillie. Richard Britton in the way. Conway now. It's evaded Daly.
It's not a bad ball in though, and most of the service is coming from Craig Conway on the left-hand side. He's much stronger on his right foot, and he just shifts it and clips it into a very decent area. Nobody really coming round the back there.
Looks like Ross County will be the first to make a change. That is Paul Lawson, who is 26 today, the birthday boy about to join us, released by Celtic a few years ago. Keddy. Pernis able to gather. Gomez. Swanson. And Kenny is down injured with what looks like could be a head knock.
I'm not sure quite what the signal was there when he signalled out to the bench. Was it his cheekbone?
Refusing treatment. Proper centre-half, and you get one of those. Stephen Craig, who scored against Celtic in the semi-final, is going to be replaced here. Paul Mawson will come on and add a bit of bite to the central midfield area, which will force a minor rejig. Lawson gets to play a part in this cup final on his birthday. No repeat today of Stephen Craig's semi-final heroics. Wilson joining Richard Britton in the centre of that midfield.
Yeah, Martin Scott going wide right, but the shape's still the same.
Gary Kenneth knew what he was doing, despite a few gasps from the Dundee United fans. Here's Lawson. Now Scott. One back by Dillon. Conway calling for it. And he's got the free kick.
I think it's the right arm of Gary Miller that causes the free kick here. Just across the chest there. They've had a few of them so far this afternoon, United, without making one count, but all it takes is one really good delivery.
Here it comes from Conway. Gary Kenneth unable to make contact. Scott Boyd stuck to him.
Well, you know, he knows he's not going to win every ball against Gary Kenneth, Scott Boyd. What he has to do is just make it awkward. Just make sure that Gary Kenneth isn't getting a run at it, and he does well here. He just leans in and takes both of them under the ball.
Gary Kenneth, a Dundee boy. It's won by Webster. Boyd had a problem with the sun then. Daly. Conway. Here they come again, Dundee United. Conway's been joined by Gomez here. Swanson! His header drops just wide.
Well, I thought for a moment, thought it was finishing inside the post. It's a great offer from Gomez. And very rarely you see either Gomez or Boivin in this position in the pitch. I think it took a little nick as it came into the box there. No, he's no more than 6 inches out here with the header. Very decent effort from Danny Swanson. Totally unmarked as it came in.
Danny Swanson nearly quit football a few years ago when he was playing for Berwick Rangers. Nearly became a plumber. Booting that spare ball high into the stand. Dundee United stepping it up a gear here. Gary Kenneth urging their fans to give them plenty of backing. Kenneth's throw. Andy Webster has stayed up. But it's going to Swanson first of all. Kenneth. Daly, it's gone out for a goal kick.
I think he'll be happy with the pattern of the game, because United are certainly bossing it at the moment. The worry, of course, is that when you have this much of the ball and this much of the game and you don't make it count, you're always worried that you might get stung at the other end. And that'll be what Derek Adams will be hoping might just happen, that they might get that chance that they've struggled so far to create.
Morrison in front of Daly. Gardine. That's a lovely touch for Vigers. Barrowman and Scott heading towards the box. Gary Kenneth scoops it away.
It's not quite deep enough. He had a really good offer from Martin Scott. Now playing in the right-hand side, but breaking his neck to get into the back post there.
Gardine. Morrison. Scott flying in.
Well, Dillon did really well, because he must have known that Scott was coming in back post there.
Interesting to see how many players Ross County hang on to for next season, and for that matter, how many Dundee United hold on to after such a successful campaign. Scott, fouled by him on Dillon.
Well, he's certainly giving him a bit of energy down that right-hand side now. Well, not a great deal in that. Both of them eyes firmly fixed on the ball.
Towards Daly. Conway. Poivin's got himself into the box. Vigers in bother. Gomez. Terrific tackle from Keddy.
Just a slack throw there from Michael McGovern that put County in trouble. Game starting to open up a little bit though.
Here's Lawson. Gardine. It's fast across that.
Well, I don't think he's trying to play in for Barham. I think he's trying to score and doesn't really get a hold of it. First time we've seen what Michael Gardine's capable of. Just drops his shoulder to get goal side. I really don't think he's trying anything else other than trying to hit the target here. And just snatches at it.
He is a top scorer with 13, but he's only scored 1 in his last 13 games.
First attempt here from Michael Gardine, which certainly won't please Derek Adams, but they're still well in the game. That's all that counts here at the moment, regardless of how little of the ball we're seeing or how few chances they're creating. They're still well in this.
Yes, it's taken them almost an hour to muster an attempt on goal. They certainly found more freedom when they were playing Hibs and Celtic, but it remains goalless with half an hour left, and of course if it's level at the end of 90 minutes we will go to 120 eventually, and possibly to penalties. Miller. Dillon. Gomez. McGovern had to use his head, but he's off his line now. If Goodwillie can return it, it's in! David Goodwillie! The Scottish Cup final comes alive at last, and it's Dundee United who have the lead.
Well, you've got to say it's a magnificent finish from David Goodwillie, because when he hits it, County do have numbers goal side here, trying to get back onto the line. Michael McGovern comes, realises he's outside the box, can't handle, but that is anything but easy. And David Goodwillie's execution is absolutely spot on. One touch on the chest, he's only going to get one more touch on the volley, and that is absolutely magnificent.
The man who has scored a semi-final goal here against Raith Rovers, gets one in the final as well. Both cracking goals, by the way. Michael McGovern, who was a Dundee United player last season, caught out. But David Goodwillie still had much to do, and he did it in some style. A goal at last at Hampden Park today. It's the kind of goal that sums up his season, really. He's been excellent, and he makes one or two headlines off the pitch. He's starting to make more on them now. Goodwillie was booked for his celebration, by the way. Ross County seeking an urgent response here, and they have a corner.
Well, I think it's important Dundee United don't drop off after taking the lead. They were getting a bit of joy, closing the game up, trying to play as much of it in the Ross County half. What they don't want to do is surrender the initiative here and drop off.
Test of character now, but these boys do have plenty of it. Britain's corner, Kenny's header.
Oh, half chance. He's up above Gary Kenneth, but he's certainly not getting it all his own way at the back post here.
How will Derek Adams, Ross County, respond to David Goodwillie's 13th goal of the season? Unlucky for Ross County, but it puts Goodwillie level with John Daly in the goal-scoring charts for United. Peter Houston less than half an hour away from glory. And Conway has got to this, but there's no takers in the box yet, although Swanson will retrieve it.
Unlucky, stood in the ball there, but lovely feet to get inside the box originally.
He's got on the ball again, but he's going to get a free kick. There was a late lunge.
Well, if anyone's going to make it happen, it's either going to be Danny Swanson or Craig Conway for Dundee United. That little bit of cutting edge in the wide areas. And that's just about all that separates the sides right now.
More concern here for Ross County then. They cannot afford to concede a second. Conway! It was such a delicious delivery.
Oh, it's a fabulous ball. Can't quite believe nobody attacks the front post for Dundee United. He's dropped it into the perfect area.
They don't come much better than that, but no takers. Gary Kenneth preparing a long throw again. Not so long this time. Conway returns it to Kenneth, but there's nobody fast stick, although John Daly's making a game effort to get to. Conway. Goodwillie, and Boyd has to turn it away.
Well, relief for Scott Morrison, because he thought that was going through to Michael McGovern. Look at Scott Morrison left back, just left this, checked out of it, and just as well for him that Scott Boyd was coming round in the cover.
Dundee United pressing for a quick second goal. Conway's corner. Barrowman. Gardine chasing, but so is Dillon. Ross County. Well, behind against Hibs in both games and recovered. And they have to launch another salvage operation today in the final.
I've got to say, I don't think Michael McGovern did anything wrong in coming for it. He just doesn't get it safe. I mean, it's his all day long, but he's got to either get it wide or get it safe, and doesn't really manage to do that. 2 touches enough for David Goodwill. It's an exquisite finish.
A good goal, a goal to the good. Dundee United have the lead at Hampden Park on cup final day. An outstanding finish from David Goodwillie. Scored a cracking goal here in the semi-final against Raith Rovers and certainly equalled it, or probably bettered it, but for his celebration afterwards, he did receive a yellow card. A yellow card that will mean he won't be able to play in the first Scottish Cup tie of next season for Dundee United, because they do carry the points over stupidly.
Scoring a cup final, get booked for celebrating.
It's not allowed, you know. Can't have scoring in a cup final. Blaven. Taylor grappling with Lawson. Scott Boyd. Over towards Martin Scott. Scott looking for an opening. Gardyne. Lawson. Britton. Now they're probing. Here's Vigurs. Scott! Grabbed by Pernice.
Well, he opens his foot, and I think he's trying to find that top right-hand corner. Doesn't really get the body shape right here at all. And it's an easy take there for Pernice. Good setup from Vigurs. And you just wonder how many chances of that type, how many more County are going to get in what remains of this game.
There's an issue with Danny Swanson, I think that is. Yeah, just a touch of cramp.
Well, they better get that well stretched out, because there's plenty left in this game. Well, he's not for giving up, Derek Adams, but I'm sure he'll take his hat off to David Goodwillie. Michael McGovern made up his mind early. This was his, and it was. He just didn't get it safe. But what a good finish. That's worthy of winning any cup final.
Fabulous. He is an old foe of Ross County, in fact. He was on loan at Raith Rovers a couple of years ago and scored twice against them then. Swanson's ready to return. Just over 20 minutes left in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden Park. Peter Houston will certainly be offered the job permanently, having been given it to the end of the season. Whether he wants it or not is another matter. Scottish Cup win might make up his mind. Blaven. Goodwillie. Barrowman now. Pinched by Gomez. Conway's away. Goodwillie and Daly in the box, and Swanson arriving.
Oh, there's Alec Keddy at the front post. Scott Boyd drawn into the wide area. It might have been Gary Miller. They just swap places here. It's the centre-back who has to go out here to Craig Conway, just being with the quick feet. And as it comes in, it may have been Kenny who cleared.
Morrison. Kovacevic. Daly. Britton now. Morrison. Away by Webster. Ross County backed by 20,000 fans almost inside Hampden, and backed by the rest of the world apart from Dundee United, hoping they can pull off an unlikely surprise today, but they have much to do. Well, that was late from Gomez. Yellow card coming his way.
Well, I think, to be fair, Richard Britton sees the challenge coming. You can see this out the side of his eye here. Gets his feet up just in time. Maybe just as well.
Here's Vigers. And the referee's called it back. Not finished writing down the name of Gomez. Change of tack from this free kick. Miller. Richard Britton. Vigers. Morrison. Gardine. Away by Kovacevic. Morrison towards Scott. Dundee United are going to bring on Scott Robertson, who's had such a wretched time with injuries recently. Here's Vigers. Snuffed out by Kovacevic. That's a foul by Kovacevic on Vigers there.
Well, he's saying he took the ball and he may well have taken some of it, but he certainly had to come through Vigers to get there. Did well initially, just stayed up, made the block, made sure it wasn't coming into the box. And he had to come through the counter play to get to the ball, and this is a very decent angle.
The Highland Hordes are making a noise now. But before the free kick is taken, Danny Swanson is being replaced by Scott Robertson, who has been missed most of the season with a groin problem. But he was outstanding when he arrived from neighbours Dundee last season. Big moment this. Britton takes it. Morrison miscued. Well, we'll be hoping his team have got something left in them here after a long, arduous season. Their league season finished a fortnight ago. They were planning to go to Marbella for a bit of a break ahead of the cup final, but the ash cloud put paid to that. Regardless of the result, they were always going to enjoy their day here, but they always wanted to win.
Yeah, I think you're dead right. I mean, I don't think there'll be any consolation for Ross County if they lose here, to be able to say they were part of the occasion. I think they come down here genuinely believing they could win the cup, having beaten Celtic in the semi-final.
Conway now, he's closing in! Craig Conway! 2-0 to Dundee United! They're closing in on the Scottish Cup, and memories are made of this!
Well, there's plenty of justice in that, because for me, Craig Conway has been the best player in the pitch. And he's just too quick for Alec Keddy here. Keddy thinks he can get there, just beaten by the quickness of Conway. And he just slips it. Right-hand side of Michael McGovern. Always over for the goalkeeper when it's as close to his legs as that. And Conway has just passed that into the net. Terrific finish. And one that you would imagine would be enough to see United over the finishing line here.
Peter Houston is a quarter of an hour away from Scottish Cup glory. He's the man, Craig Conway. He's given them some breathing space now. Vigers. He's skipped away from Kovacevic. Decent ball in, and Dillon turns it away for a corner.
Well, that's a really good cross. I'm just surprised that Martin Scott doesn't attack that to the back post. It's a cross that takes Pernis right out of the game here. And Scott, well, you see him on the far side, just holding his position. Should have been applying a little bit of pressure there, back post.
Britain's corner. That's a free kick for Goodwillie.
Well, it's a good free kick for David Goodwillie to win, because it gets United right up the pitch with just 14 minutes of the game left. Maybe a little bit early to be thinking about taking the ball into the corners now, but they're almost there.
Michael Gardine is being replaced here, the top scorer, unable to add to his 13-goal tally. And he's been replaced by Paul Giacomo, who was a bright young thing in his days at Kilmarnock. Never quite had the career that many expected he would. A League Cup final loser here with Kilmarnock a few years ago. Ross County need a quick response if they are to keep the dream alive. Dundee United, the best of the rest, out with the Old Firm this season. They finished third in the SPL. Are they going to get to grips with the Scottish Cup now? It looks like they will. Peter Houston is planning another change. That is David Robertson, having brought on Scott Robertson. David Robertson, who scored a late winner against Rangers in the quarter-final replay.
Well, they might just stiffen up that midfield and finish the game with one up. Very decent lead to have with just, what, 13, 14 minutes to go. They don't have to go and make the game now, United.
David Robertson did his bit in that quarter-final against Rangers. He is going to come on here in place of David Goodwillie, who opened the scoring for Dundee United with a glorious goal that put them on their way. He's one for the future, who's not doing too badly in the present. And Dundee United will be hoping they can hang on to David Goodwillie. Rangers apparently interested. Dundee United sensing now that this will be their day. And Ross County are going to make another change in a moment. Gary Wood's going to come on. Scott. To Giacomo. Here comes that other change from Ross County. Gary Wood with 5 Scottish Cup goals this season. Scored against Hibs in the quarter-final. Martin Scott has run himself into the ground as usual. Gary Wood gets to play the last 10 minutes or so of the Cup final. Ross County's most used substitute this season.
No surprise to see him go right up top alongside Barrowman. And if they are going to save this, they need one pretty quickly, Ross County.
Warman. Robertson. David, that is. Kenneth. Here's Scott Robertson. Ross County need to get a goal and soon. It's kept from Kovacevic. Webster came to his aid, and now a free kick.
Yeah, frustration as much as anything. Scott Morrison always wrong side there to make a clean challenge. Not a difficult decision for Dougie McDonald, and understandably United in absolutely no hurry to take anything now.
Dundee United look like they will succeed where Hibs and Celtic fail.
That's where you'll see it going from now on, just knocking it in behind fullbacks. And trying to see what's left of this game out now.
Ironically, Dundee United's cup campaign started with a controversial handball goal at Partick Thistle. The Argentine striker Damian Casalinova. Handball from an Argentine, eh? Unusual. It is Ross County's throw. Lawson, Britton. Kelly. Seen a few comebacks in recent weeks, well, from Motherwell, that is. Derek Adams used to play for them, his former club. But he needs inspiration from somewhere within his ranks now. It was Gary Wood who didn't connect.
It's a half chance in this stage in the game at 2-0 down. It's the type of chance didn't really have to take. He has to work on this here.
Wood. Now Morrison, if they could just get a goal. Intercepted by Webster.
Oh, Scott Morrison's much better than that. Given that amount of time, his delivery should have been better.
Morrison. Lawson. They came in their thousands hoping for the perfect end to the fairy tale. But the Scottish Cup is slipping away from their grasp now. As Dundee United take off Kovacevic and bring on Keith Watson. He's only 20, but he's had a terrible time with injuries over the past couple of years. Burst up onto the scene and looked a very promising player. Still has time to make a name for himself in the game. Dundee United have come a long way over the past few years since Craig Levein took charge. That's offside against David Robertson. Craig Levein started the transformation of Dundee United and will be following his Scotland side in the Euro 2012 qualifiers against Liechtenstein from September. Oh, Daly's onside. Whether he's got the legs is another matter. Gomez arriving and they might still be in the hunt for a third. David Robertson. He's got his throw. Dundee United in no rush, and nor should they be as they seek to preserve their 2-0 advantage. Robertson heading for the corner again, and this time it's a Ross County throw.
It's just going to be difficult for them to get out. They're throwing right down in the corner here. United have squeezed the game right in here. And it's how they get out, how they get up the pitch.
Daly. Gomez. Conway again! Scores again! That's it! Dundee United heading for Scottish Cup glory to cap a remarkable season.
Well, the set-up from Gomez is terrific. One of the rare occasions he's managed to get himself into the box, but Conway had a lot to do. Richard Britton might feel he could have done better. He tucks in. But it might have been Gary Miller who comes into narrow and just ends up wrong side, allows Conway to get the shot away. But once again, it's a terrific finish on the half volley. Arguably more difficult than the one that he scored from earlier on. And certainly enough to put United into the winner's enclosure here.
Another magic moment for the man of the moment. A second goal in this cup final for Craig Conway. And Ross County surely beaten now. They'll still go down in history. But they're not going to win the Scottish Cup, are they? Although they could get a goal here. It's Turness who foils DeGiacomo.
Just about sums up their afternoon. They've had one or two half chances of that type and never really managed to work Turness in the United goal. been the difference at the business end of the pitch. United have made anything that's come their way count.
The man of the match this afternoon is the two-goal hero, it's Craig Conway.
Wood rising, but there's a free kick going to be given, and a yellow card coming out, in fact. Harry Wood rather baffled by the award of a card.
Well, there's been very little change out of United at the back. Any time that the Ross County have gone long today, particularly to Barrowman, he's had nothing out of Webster and Kenneth. And they know it's gone now. I think they knew that coming to Glasgow today, they had to bring that semi-final performance with them that they turned in against Celtic. They haven't quite managed to do that today. And there's no question that the better team is going to win the cup this afternoon.
Dundee United celebrating, and Motherwell celebrating as well, because they are going into the Europa League qualifiers as a result of Dundee United's victory today. Conway in the corner, two-goal hero. I suppose one thing you could say about his game is that he should produce more goals. Well, he's produced on the big day when it's mattered. United happy just to see this one through now. The job is done. They have lost 7 of their previous 8 Scottish Cup finals. Their only triumph came in 1994, but they are about to add 2010 to that list.
Yeah, you certainly can't grudge the United supporters this win today. They've had so much agony over the years at Hampden, and they've got to pay back this afternoon.
Kenny. Morrison. Furness in amongst the balloons. Well, this will be an emotional day for Stephen Thompson, the chairman of Dundee United, who's a big fan as well, and he'll be thinking as well of his late father, Eddie, who did so much for the club. David Robertson. Yes, what will be going through his mind? His family have done so much for Dundee United, and the fans have seen him on the big screens here. Craig Levine got a big cheer as well, because he started off a new look at Dundee United, which Peter Houston took over midway through this season. They have become a force in Scotland again, and that can only be good for the game in this country.
No, he can savour this, what is left of this final. I'm no surprise to see him laughing there, Peter Houston. He knows the job is done.
Just a couple of minutes added on. All credit must go to Ross County for getting here, for accounting for Hibs and Celtic on the way. Oh, and Conway's in the hunt for a hat-trick.
One of the few times in the match that the two centre-backs of County have gone to sleep there and allowed the shot to come in.
Gomez. It is a free kick for Dundee United as they while away the seconds.
Well, John Daly's gone into the box, but well, they are going to put it in. Maybe at 3-0 they can afford to put it in the box.
Gomez. Ross County have etched their name in the history of this famous competition, but Dundee United are about to do the same with only their second Scottish Cup triumph. To Giacomo now. Britain. It proved to be one step too far, this, for Ross County. Will they get a goal to show for their efforts? No, they won't. It's all over. They've done it. They've won it. Dundee United Scottish Cup winners in 2010. Peter Houston, who took over halfway through the season, and Craig Levein got the Scotland job. Celebrates an astonishing season. David Goodwillie opened the scoring, and Craig Conway scored a dazzling double. Third in the SPL. And Scottish Cup winners on this day of destiny and dreams. It's tangerine dreams that come true. This was Dundee United's destiny.
Well done. Here's the Active Nation Scottish Cup Man of the Match award. Well done.
Well, heroes, every one of them. They deservedly knocked out Hibs at the quarter-final stage. They deservedly knocked out Celtic in the semi-final stage. They scored a whopping 24 goals in the Scottish Cup this season, but they just couldn't come up with one in the final. And they will receive their medals and reflect on what might have been, but they will also reflect on a season of considerable achievement.
Yeah, I don't think they would thank you if you were to describe them as gallant losers, but what they didn't do today was reach the heights that they managed in the semi-final. Derek Adams knows that better than anyone. I think he'll be bitterly disappointed at his side's performance today. Delighted to make the cup final, but when it really mattered, they came up just a little bit short of what we all know they're capable of.
Forlorn figures. It wasn't to be. Derek Adams, though, consoled slightly by an extraordinary achievement in getting this far. But having got this far, they really wanted to do it. They didn't just want to come for the day out. It passed them by a bit in the first half. And Dundee United soon gained the grip on this final, and will soon gain a grip on the trophy itself. Andy Webster is the captain for the day, but Lee Wilkie's lurking down there as well, a man whose career ended this season to injury, and he spent a good few years trying to come through various setbacks in his career. He'll be coming up as well. Andy Webster leading the way, Lee Wilkie also there. Webster, who ironically is on loan from Rangers, the old firm not involved in the final this season, but a Rangers man is going up with Lee Wilkie to collect the trophy.
So the winners this afternoon, the Active Nation Scottish Cup final. Let's make some noise for Dundee United!
Here they come. They're about to take the trophy, to take their medals, and to take their place in history. It is time to salute the 2010 Scottish Cup winners, Dundee United. Dundee United are having the time of their lives. For all their excellent efforts this season, they deserved a trophy at the end of it. And David Goodwillie scored a wonderful goal to get them going before Craig Conway's double. For a while it looked like they might sneak second spot in the SPL. That wasn't to be, but this will do nicely. Craig Conway with 2 goals. And Craig Levine, all smiles as well. He might feel a bit jealous about not being involved, but he's got the Scotland job now. Handing over the reins to Peter Houston, who presumably will take the job. These sort of days don't come along very often for these players, so you have to make the most of it. And the biggest cheer might be for this man. 5 months as a manager. Easy, this management lark. He is one of the game's good guys. The party tonight will be on Tayside, but there'll also be one in the Highlands as well to celebrate Ross County's achievements. He's going to join in the celebration here. And if Dundee United can keep this team together, and that might be a big if, this might be the start of something special. A lot of these boys came here 2 years ago in the League Cup final. They should have beaten Rangers that day. They came so close. Well, they've got their day in the sun now because they've won the big one, the Scottish Cup.